It was late at night. The street was quiet. Too quiet. Street lights were weak. Some of them were broken. The road looked empty, but it did not feel safe. A single black man named Marcus was walking home from work. He worked a late shift at a small warehouse. His feet were tired. His hands were cold. All he wanted was to reach home and sleep. Marcus kept his head down. He did not want trouble. In his life, he had learned one hard lesson. At night, on empty streets, a black man must be extra careful. One wrong move, one wrong look, one wrong moment, and everything could change. He checked his phone. It was 11:47 p.m. Suddenly, he heard a sound. It was very soft, almost like the wind. But it was not the wind. It was a weak voice. Help! Marcus stopped walking. His heart started beating fast. He looked around. The street was empty. No cars. No people. Just him and the dark road. Again, he heard it. Please help. The voice sounded like a woman. The voice sounded scared. The voice sounded hurt. Marcus took a slow step forward. Then another. He followed the sound. Near the side of the road, under a broken street light, he saw something on the ground. At first, he thought it was trash. Then he saw the blood. His stomach dropped. A woman was lying on the road. She was wearing a police uniform. A policewoman. She was badly hurt. Blood was on her face. Blood was on her shirt. Her eyes were half open. Her breathing was slow and weak. Marcus froze. His mind started racing. Police. Night. Black man. Blood. This was the worst situation he could ever be in. He looked around fast. No cars. No witnesses. No help. Only him. Only her. His hands started shaking. He thought, if I touch her, they may think I hurt her. He thought, if I stay, they may arrest me. He thought if I run, she may die. For a few seconds, Marcus just stood there. His heart told him to help. His fear told him to run. He took one step back. Then he heard her again. Don't leave. Her voice was so weak. It sounded like she was using all her strength just to speak. Marcus closed his eyes for 1 second. He remembered his mother's words. Do what is right, even when you are scared. He opened his eyes. He ran to her. He knelt down beside her. Ma'am, stay with me, Marcus said softly. Please stay awake. The policewoman tried to move, but she could not. She made a small sound of pain. Marcus took off his jacket. His hands were shaking as he pressed it gently on her wound to stop the bleeding. It's going to be okay, he said, even though he was not sure it was true. Her eyes looked at him. Fear was in her eyes. Pain was in her eyes. But something else was there too. Trust. She tried to speak again. Someone ran that way. She lifted her hand, just a little, pointing toward the dark road. Then her hand fell. Her eyes closed. Hey, stay with me, Marcus said louder now. He checked her breathing. It was still there, but it was weak, very weak. Marcus pulled out his phone and called emergency. Please hurry, he said. A police officer is hurt. She is bleeding badly. He looked around again. Every second felt heavy. He knew how this could look. A black man. A hurt policewoman. Blood on his hands. He could already see the guns. He could already hear the shouting. He could already feel the handcuffs. His chest felt tight. Then in the distance, he heard it. Sirens. Soft at first, then louder. Blue and red lights started flashing far away. Marcus looked down at the policewoman. He was still holding her hand. Blood was on his jacket. Blood was on his fingers. His heart was pounding. He whispered, please don't die. The sirens got closer. The lights got brighter. Marcus did not move. He did not run. He stayed. Because he knew one thing. If he left, she might die. If he stayed, his life might change forever. The police cars were almost there now. The road filled with flashing lights. Marcus was still on his knees, still holding her hand, still hoping he did the right thing. And in that moment, he did not know. Was he about to be called a hero? Or was he about to be blamed for a crime he did not commit? The sound of sirens grew louder. Blue and red lights filled the dark street. The quiet road was no longer quiet. The night was broken by loud engines, flashing lights, and heavy boots hitting the ground. 3 police cars stopped hard near Marcus. Doors opened fast. Officers jumped out. Hands up, one officer shouted. Don't move. Marcus froze. His hands were still covered in blood. Slowly, very slowly, he lifted them in the air. I called for help, Marcus said. His voice was shaking. She is hurt. I was trying to. Step away from her now, another officer yelled. Marcus stepped back. Two officers rushed to the policewoman. They pushed Marcus aside like he was nothing. One officer checked her pulse. Another put pressure on her wound. She's alive, one of them said. Call it in. More lights appeared. More police cars. More officers. The small street turned into a crime scene in seconds. Yellow tape went up. Neighbors opened their doors. People came outside. Phones came out. Everyone was recording. Marcus stood there with his hands up. Blood on his jacket. Blood on his hands. He felt every camera pointed at him. One officer walked up to him. The officer looked at him from head to toe. Turn around, the officer said. Marcus turned. Cold metal clicked around his wrists. Handcuffs. Tight. Too tight. I didn't do anything, Marcus said. I found her like this. The officer did not answer. Another officer pushed him toward a police car. Sit, the officer said. Marcus sat on the cold back seat. The door slammed shut. From inside the car, Marcus watched everything. He saw the policewoman being lifted onto a stretcher. He saw her face. She was pale. Her eyes were closed. Her chest moved slowly. Very slowly. An ambulance arrived. The doors opened. Medics rushed out. They worked fast. They talked in short, serious words. Marcus could not hear them clearly, but he could see their faces. They looked worried. Very worried. They lifted her into the ambulance. The doors closed. The ambulance drove away fast. Marcus swallowed hard. Please live, he thought. Outside, officers were talking, pointing, looking at him. One officer came to the car window. What's your name? The officer asked. Marcus Hill, he said. Why were you here? The officer asked. I was walking home from work, Marcus said. I heard her call for help. Why was there blood on you? The officer asked. I tried to stop the bleeding, Marcus said. I used my jacket. The officer looked at him for a long second. Then he wrote something down. The officer walked away. Marcus leaned his head back. His heart was beating hard. He felt sick. He felt scared. Outside, people were talking. Whispers turned into words. He did it. I saw him holding her. That's blood on him. Marcus wanted to scream. I tried to save her. But no one asked him that. No one cared. To them, he was not a man who helped. He was a suspect. An officer opened the car door. Step out, the officer said. Marcus stepped out. Cameras flashed. Phones recorded. Someone shouted, Why did you do it? Marcus looked around. Faces everywhere. Judging faces. Angry faces. Curious faces. He felt small. Very small. They took him to another police car. This one was for suspects. Not for witnesses. They drove him to the station. Inside the station, everything felt cold. Cold walls. Cold chairs. Cold looks. They took his jacket. They took his phone. They took his fingerprints. They took his photo. They asked him the same questions again and again. What happened? Why were you there? Did you touch her? Did you fight with her? Marcus answered every question. Again and again. The same truth. But it did not feel like they believed him. Hours passed. No food. No water. No sleep. Just a small room. Just a metal chair. Just a camera on the wall. Marcus sat alone. He looked at his hands. There was no blood now, but he could still feel it. He closed his eyes. He saw her face again. He heard her weak voice. Don't leave. Tears filled his eyes. He whispered, I didn't leave. I stayed. A door opened. An officer stepped in. The officer's face was serious. The doctor says her condition is critical, the officer said. Marcus looked up fast. Is she alive? Marcus asked. The officer paused. For now, the officer said. Marcus felt a small breath of hope. Then the officer said something that broke it. If she doesn't make it, the officer said slowly, this will become a very serious case for you. Marcus felt the room spin. A serious case? Marcus said. I saved her. The officer did not answer. The door closed. Marcus was alone again, sitting in a cold room, with a heavy fear in his chest. Outside, the city moved on. But for Marcus, his whole life was now hanging on one thing. Would the policewoman live? Or would he be blamed for a crime he did not commit? The next morning came slowly. Sunlight entered the police station through small, dirty windows. But for Marcus, there was no peace in the light. He had not slept. His eyes were red. His head was heavy. Every sound made him jump. A guard opened the door. "Get up," the guard said. Marcus stood. His legs felt weak. They took him to another room. This room was bigger. Two detectives were waiting. One was older. One was younger. Both looked serious. "Sit," the older detective said. Marcus sat. The younger detective placed photos on the table. Photos of the crime scene. Photos of blood on the road. Photos of Marcus kneeling beside the policewoman. Photos taken from people's phones. "These don't look good for you," the younger detective said. Marcus looked at the photos. "That was me trying to help," Marcus said quietly. The older detective leaned forward. "Marcus Hill," he said. "We ran your background." Marcus felt his chest tighten. "There is something from your past," the older detective said. Marcus swallowed. 10 years ago, the detective continued, "You were arrested." Marcus looked down. "It was a mistake," Marcus said. "I was in the wrong place." "Shoplifting," the younger detective said. "I was young," Marcus said. "I paid for it. I changed my life." The room went quiet. The older detective tapped the table. "People don't forget," he said. Marcus felt anger rise inside him. "So, because of one mistake, you think I attacked a police officer?" Marcus said. The younger detective did not answer. Instead, he played a video on a screen. It was from a security camera. Not very clear, but clear enough. The video showed the street. It showed the policewoman running. It showed someone chasing her. Then it showed a shadow running away. Marcus leaned forward. "That's not me," Marcus said fast. "Look at the size. That's not me." The younger detective paused the video. The shadow looked taller, broader. "Not Marcus." The older detective stared at the screen. "That person ran before you arrived," Marcus said. "That means someone else did this." The room became quiet again. The younger detective looked at the older one. The older detective stood up. "We'll look into it," he said. They turned off the screen. They did not say more. Marcus was taken back to his small room. But something felt wrong. Very wrong. Later that day, in another part of the station, two officers talked quietly. "That video is trouble," one officer said. "If that gets out, this case changes," the other said. "And the person she was chasing?" the first officer asked. The second officer lowered his voice. "That person is connected," he said. "High up." "Then this man is the easy one," the first officer said. They both went quiet. Back in his room, Marcus sat alone. He looked at the wall. He thought about his life. He thought about how hard he worked to stay out of trouble. He thought about how one night could destroy everything. Then the door opened again. A different officer came in. This officer looked nervous. "I shouldn't be talking to you," the officer said softly. Marcus looked up. "But you need to know something," the officer continued. "What?" Marcus asked. "There is more video," the officer said, from a store camera down the street. Marcus's heart jumped. "What does it show?" Marcus asked. The officer looked at the door, then back at Marcus. "It shows a man running," the officer said. "A man in a dark jacket. Taller than you." "Then why am I still here?" Marcus asked. The officer did not answer. "They told me not to log it yet," the officer said. "They said it needs to be reviewed." Marcus understood. Someone was stopping the truth. "Why are you telling me this?" Marcus asked. The officer took a deep breath. "Because you saved her," the officer said. "And because this feels wrong." The officer left. Marcus sat in silence. Hope and fear mixed inside him. At the hospital, the policewoman lay in a white bed. Machines beeped. Her face was pale. Her breathing was slow. A doctor spoke to a group of officers. "She may wake up," the doctor said, "but she is very weak." One officer asked, "Can she talk?" The doctor paused. "Maybe," the doctor said. "If she wakes up." That word echoed. If. Marcus lay back on the hard bench in his room. He closed his eyes. He saw the shadow from the video. He saw the taller man. He knew one thing now. There was another person out there. The real attacker. And someone was protecting that person. Marcus whispered to himself, "Please wake up." Because he knew only one person could tell the full truth. And that person was fighting for her life. The hospital room was quiet. Machines made soft beeping sounds. White walls. Bright lights. The smell of medicine filled the air. Officer Sarah Miller lay on the bed. Her face was pale. Her arm was wrapped in bandages. A tube helped her breathe. A nurse checked her pulse. Then something small happened. Sarah's fingers moved. Just a little. The nurse froze. She looked closer. Sarah's eyes slowly opened. The nurse pressed a button. "Doctor," the nurse called. "She's waking up." A doctor rushed in. Then another nurse. They spoke fast. "Sarah, can you hear me?" the doctor asked. Sarah blinked. Her eyes looked confused. Her mouth tried to move. No sound came out. "Easy," the doctor said. "You are safe." Safe. That word did not feel true to Sarah. In her mind, she saw it again. The dark street. The running feet. The hard push. The sharp pain. Her heart started to beat faster. "Relax," the nurse said. "You were hurt. You were in the hospital." Sarah's eyes moved around the room. She tried to lift her hand. Pain shot through her body. She made a small sound. "Who did this to you?" the doctor asked softly. Sarah closed her eyes. Her lips moved. One word came out. "Him." Outside the room, two officers were waiting. One of them was Detective Gray. The nurse opened the door. "She's awake," the nurse said. "But she's weak." Detective Gray went in. He smiled gently. "Sarah," he said, "it's good to see you awake." Sarah tried to focus. She looked at his face. She did not feel safe. "Do you remember what happened?" Detective Gray asked. Sarah nodded slowly. "Can you tell me who attacked you?" he asked. Sarah swallowed. Her voice was low. "I was chasing a man," Sarah said. "He ran into the dark." Detective Gray leaned closer. "Was it the man we brought in?" he asked. Sarah's eyes widened. "No," she said. "Not him." Detective Gray's smile faded. "Are you sure?" he asked. "Yes," Sarah said. "He is not the one." The room went quiet. The doctor looked at Detective Gray. Detective Gray stood up straight. "There's a lot of stress," he said. "You may be confused." "I'm not confused," Sarah said. "He saved me." Those words hit hard. "He saved you?" Detective Gray asked. "Yes," Sarah said. "The man you arrested. He helped me. He tried to stop the bleeding." Detective Gray looked at the nurse, then at the doctor, then back at Sarah. "We will talk later," Detective Gray said. "You need rest." He walked out. In the hallway, Detective Gray's face changed. "No Ismail. Only anger." "This is a problem," he said to another officer. "She is saying the wrong things," the other officer said. "We can't let her talk too much," Detective Gray said. "Not yet." Back in Marcus's room at the station, the door opened. Marcus looked up. A woman in a suit walked in. "My name is Linda Parker," she said. "I'm a lawyer." Marcus stood up fast. "A lawyer?" Marcus asked. "Yes," Linda said. "Your family called me." Marcus felt a small piece of hope. "They said the officer is awake," Linda said. "Is that true?" Marcus nodded. "They told me she's awake," Marcus said. "Does she know the truth?" Linda paused. "She told doctors you were not the attacker," Linda said. Marcus felt his knees go weak. "She said that?" Marcus asked. "Yes," Linda said. "But someone is trying to control what she says." Marcus felt anger and fear at the same time. "Why?" Marcus asked. Linda lowered her voice. "Because the man she was chasing is powerful," Linda said. "Powerful how?" Marcus asked. "He has connections," Linda said. "People who don't want his name in this case." At the hospital, Sarah lay alone. She stared at the ceiling. Her door opened quietly. A man in a suit walked in. Not a doctor. Not a nurse. "Officer Miller," the man said. "I'm here to help you." Sarah looked at him. "I already told the truth," Sarah said. The man smiled. "A softer version of the truth is better for everyone," he said. Sarah's heart started to race. "I will not lie," Sarah said. The man leaned closer. "Think about your career," he said. "Think about your future." Sarah felt fear. Real fear. At the same time, Marcus sat in his small room. He held his hands together. 2 lives. 2 rooms. 1 truth. And powerful people trying to bury it. The question was no longer just, would Marcus go free? The question was now, would Sarah be brave enough to speak the full truth? Even if it put her own life in danger. The story did not stay quiet. Someone leaked a small piece of information. A short video clip. Just 10 seconds. It showed Marcus kneeling beside Officer Sarah Miller. It showed him pressing his jacket on her wound. It showed him calling for help. The video went online. Fast. Very fast. People shared it. Thousands. Then millions. The headline was simple. Man tried to save injured police officer. Still arrested. Public reaction exploded. Some people called Marcus a hero. Some people still called him a criminal. But one thing was clear. People were watching now. At the police station, officers were angry. "This is getting out of control," Detective Gray said. "We need to control the story," another officer said. But the story was no longer theirs. Outside, reporters waited. Cameras pointed at the building. Microphones ready. Is the man innocent? Why is he still locked up? What is the department hiding? Marcus watched the news on a small TV in the station hallway. He saw his own face. Blurry. Tired. Scared. His name was now public. His life was no longer private. In another room, Sarah lay in her hospital bed. A small TV played the same news. She saw Marcus. She saw the clip. Tears filled her eyes. "He saved me," she whispered. Her phone buzzed. A message. Unknown number. "Be careful what you say." Her hands started shaking. She deleted the message. Then another message came. "Your family could be affected." Sarah felt cold. Very cold. At Marcus's lawyer's office, Linda Parker worked fast. She made calls. She sent emails. She asked for the hidden video. She asked for full reports. But doors closed. Phones went silent. "They are blocking us," Linda told Marcus. "Because of that powerful man?" Marcus asked. "Yes," Linda said. "His name is still missing from the reports." Outside, a woman stepped forward. She owned a small store near the street where Sarah was attacked. She went to a local reporter. "I have a camera," the woman said. "It points to the road." The reporter's eyes widened. "What did you see?" the reporter asked. The woman hesitated. "I saw a man running," she said. "Not Marcus." The reporter leaned closer. "Do you still have the video?" he asked. The woman nodded. That night, the reporter aired a short story. "New witness comes forward," the screen said. The store owner's face was hidden, but her voice was clear. "It was not the man they arrested," she said. The city reacted. Protests started. Small at first, then bigger. People held signs. "Free Marcus." "Justice now." "Truth matters." At the police department, panic grew. Detective Gray slammed his hand on a desk. "This is bad," he said. "We are losing control." Meanwhile, Sarah was moved to a different room. Just for safety, they told her. But the room had no window. More guards. Less visitors. Linda tried to see Sarah. They said no. Marcus tried to send her a message. They blocked it. Someone wanted Sarah quiet. At night, Sarah could not sleep. She stared at the door. Every sound made her jump. Then she heard footsteps. Slow. Heavy. The door opened. A man in a dark suit walked in. Not the same man as before. This one looked colder. "Officer Miller," the man said. "This has gone too far." Sarah sat up. "I will tell the truth," Sarah said. The man smiled. "You can," he said, "but there will be a cost." Sarah's heart pounded. "What cost?" she asked. The man placed a photo on her bed. It was her younger brother, leaving his job, looking over his shoulder. "Accidents happen," the man said calmly. Sarah's breath stopped. "Don't touch my family," she said. "Then choose your words carefully," the man said. He walked out. Sarah shook. She cried silently. At the same time, Marcus sat in his cell. He heard shouting outside. Chance. People calling his name. He closed his eyes. For the first time, he felt something new. Not just fear. Hope. People believed him. But hope came with danger. Because when truth gets close, power pushes back harder. And now, two people were trapped. Marcus, fighting for his freedom. Sarah, fighting for her family. Both standing between truth and powerful lies. And the pressure was about to explode. Because next, everything would be decided in one place. The courtroom. The courtroom was full. Every seat was taken. People stood along the walls. Reporters filled the back rows. Cameras were ready outside. The case had become bigger than anyone expected. Marcus Hill walked into the room in a simple suit. His hands were no longer in handcuffs, but his shoulders felt heavy. Every eye followed him. Some people whispered. Some people nodded at him with support. Marcus sat next to his lawyer, Linda Parker. "Stay calm," Linda whispered. "No matter what." Marcus nodded. Across the room, Detective Gray sat with other officers. His face was hard, cold. The judge entered. "Court is now in session," the judge said. The room went silent. The prosecutor stood up. They spoke about the night. They showed photos. They showed phone videos. They said Marcus was found with blood on him. They said it looked bad. Marcus clenched his jaw. Then Linda stood up. She spoke slowly. She showed the leaked clip. She showed how Marcus tried to help. She spoke about the hidden videos. She spoke about the store owner. The judge listened closely. Then Linda said the words everyone was waiting for. "We call Officer Sarah Miller to the stand." A soft sound moved through the room. People leaned forward. The door opened. Sarah walked in. Slowly, carefully. Her arm was still in a sling. Her face was pale, but her eyes were strong. Marcus looked at her. She looked back. For 1 second, the whole room felt still. Sarah sat in the witness chair. She raised her hand. She swore to tell the truth. The prosecutor stood. "Officer Miller," the prosecutor said, "do you see the man who attacked you in this room?" Sarah looked around. Her eyes passed Marcus. She did not stop on him. Then she stopped. She pointed. "Not him," Sarah said. "He did not attack me." Gasps filled the room. The prosecutor froze. Detective Gray shifted in his seat. Linda stood up fast. "Who attacked you, Officer Miller?" Linda asked. Sarah's hand shook. She took a breath. "I was chasing a suspect," Sarah said. "He was taller. He was wearing a dark jacket. He pushed me." "Did Marcus Hill push you?" Linda asked. "No," Sarah said clearly. "Marcus Hill helped me. He tried to save my life." The room exploded with whispers. The judge banged the gavel. "Order," the judge said. The prosecutor tried to recover. "Officer Miller," the prosecutor said, "are you sure you are not confused? You were badly injured." Sarah looked straight ahead. "I am sure," she said. "I remember his face. It was not Marcus." Linda nodded. "Did anyone ask you to change your story?" Linda asked. The room went quiet. Too quiet. Sarah swallowed. "Yes," she said. Detective Gray's face went pale. "Who?" Linda asked. Sarah looked at Detective Gray. Then she looked at the judge. "People from inside," Sarah said. "They told me to be careful with my words." Gasps filled the room again. The judge leaned forward. "Are you saying you were pressured?" the judge asked. "Yes," Sarah said. "I was threatened." The courtroom felt like it stopped breathing. "Threatened how?" Linda asked. Sarah's voice shook. "They showed me pictures of my brother," Sarah said. "They told me accidents happen." People in the courtroom reacted. Anger. Shock. Disbelief. Linda turned to the judge. "Your Honor," Linda said, "we submit the store camera video." The video played on the screen. The shadowy man. Taller. Running. Not Marcus. The room watched in silence. The judge watched closely. The prosecutor sat down slowly. Detective Gray looked down. Then something shocking happened. A man stood up in the back. He tried to walk out. Fussed. 2 officers moved to stop him. "Sir, please sit," one officer said. The man pushed past. Linda pointed. "That is him," Linda said. "That is the man Officer Miller was chasing." Sarah looked. Her eyes went wide. "That's him," Sarah said. "That's the man." The courtroom erupted. The man tried to run. Officers grabbed him. He shouted, "You don't know who you're messing with." They dragged him out. The judge stood. "This court will take a recess," the judge said. The gavel hit. Marcus sat frozen. His heart was pounding. For the first time, the truth was winning. But the fight was not over. Because power does not fall quietly. And what happened next would change everything. The courtroom was silent after the man was taken away. People were still standing. No one was sitting. Everyone felt the weight of what just happened. Marcus held his breath. His hands were shaking. Linda placed a hand on his arm. "It's going to be okay," she whispered. The judge returned to the bench. The room became quiet again. The judge looked at the papers. Then at Sarah. Then at Marcus. "This court has heard enough for today," the judge said. "But one thing is now clear." The judge paused. "The evidence shows that Marcus Hill is not the attacker." Marcus felt his chest tighten. "The court orders the immediate release of Marcus Hill," the judge said. For 1 second, Marcus did not move. Then Linda stood. "It's over," she said softly. "You're free." Marcus's legs felt weak. Tears filled his eyes. He stood up slowly. People in the courtroom began to clap. At first, just a few. Then more. Soon, the room was filled with applause. Marcus placed his hand over his face. He could not believe it. After days of fear, after nights of no sleep, after being judged by the world, he was free. Outside the courthouse, cameras waited. Reporters pushed forward. Microphones everywhere. Marcus, how do you feel? Do you forgive the police? What will you do next? Marcus stood quietly. Then he spoke. I didn't do anything special, Marcus said. I just helped a person who was hurt. Anyone should do that. Officer Sarah Miller stood nearby. She walked toward Marcus. Cameras turned. She stopped in front of him. She held out her hand. Marcus looked at it. Then he shook it. You saved my life, Sarah said. And I'm sorry for what you went through. Marcus nodded. I'm just glad you're alive, Marcus said. That simple moment was shared everywhere. On TV, on phones, on social media. The story became bigger. Not just about a crime, but about courage, about truth, about doing the right thing when it is hard. The man who attacked Sarah was charged. More names came out. More secrets came out. People inside the system were investigated. Some lost their jobs. Some faced charges. The truth was heavy, but it was finally out. Marcus went home that night. His small apartment felt different. The same walls, the same couch, but his heart was lighter. His mother hugged him. Long, tight. I knew God was with you, she said. Marcus smiled, but inside he knew something else. He knew this story was bigger than him. Days later, Marcus was invited to speak at a small community event. He stood on a simple stage. No suit, no tie, just Marcus. I was scared that night, Marcus said. I was scared of what could happen to me, but I was more scared of leaving someone to die. The room was quiet. Doing the right thing is not always easy, Marcus said. Sometimes it costs you, but can also change lives. People stood. They clapped. Some cried. Sarah watched from the back. She felt proud. She felt strong. She had faced powerful people. She had chosen truth, even when it was dangerous. Later, Sarah visited Marcus one more time, not as a police officer, but as a person. Thank you for staying, Sarah said. Marcus smiled. I almost walked away, he said, but I'm glad I didn't. They stood in silence. Two strangers, connected by one night, one choice, one act of courage. The world moved on. News changed. New stories came. But for Marcus and Sarah, that night would never be forgotten, because it showed something simple and something powerful. A man chose kindness over fear. A woman chose truth over pressure. And together, they proved that even in a broken system, one brave choice can change everything. Final message on screen. Never judge a person by how they look. Judge them by what they do. Fade out. Soft music.